Hey guys, it's Ghost Queen. Okay, I'm back for my second video for my paranormal channel. This one's going to be a little bit more serious and a little bit more somber. So if you watch my video on my other channel, I was talking about how on Sunday, excuse me, Wayne and I went to Walmart, and now we had been running around all weekend. We had taken a big long trip, big drive, and I had just seen, like on Twitter or something, some sort of notification that there had been this shooting at the Walmart in El Paso. But I didn't know any of the details yet. I didn't read about it. That was all I saw, like shooting in Texas, 20 killed. That was that. I didn't know any details at all. It's at the point where I don't really watch the news anymore. It's all negative, well, I shouldn't say that. That's exaggerating. It's mostly negative, okay? Maybe there's a few positive things thrown in, but for the most part, it's negative shit, and I just don't need to see that every day. I don't need to see that every day. It's hard to even escape from that with social media nowadays. It's just like, it's in your face, it's out there. That's another topic for another day. But for today, so all I knew was that there had been another shooting in a Walmart, and all right, so a little bit about me and my character and my nature. So I tend to laugh when I'm nervous. I make jokes to lighten the mood. I'm that sort of person. I've had periods of my life where I've dealt with extreme fucking stress. Extreme stress throughout my entire life. I'm very hard to rattle now. It's just like you get to the point where you can deal with a lot, and it just doesn't faze you, like it has to be. Wayne said to me the other day, he's like, you're pretty hard to impress. And I'm like, really? Because I feel like I'm really easy to please. But am I hard to impress? Maybe I am, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. If you get to live to be 50 years old, you should be a little hard to impress. You should have seen a lot by that age. And I have. So I've seen it all. It does maybe take a lot to impress me. Sue me. So, but throughout my life, I've developed coping mechanisms for dealing with stress. And this started as a very young child. And I have a story connected to it. So when I was a kid growing up, I used to go to Maine every summer. Now, I had 2 girlfriends up there. I lived in Massachusetts, but went to Maine every summer. And then I had a girlfriend who came up from Florida every summer. And then I had a girlfriend who came up from Connecticut every summer. And the 3 of us were like the Musketeers. And every summer we hung out. We had a whole group of friends up there, and, did our thing. We were like, times were different. Like, we very rarely saw our parents. We were just like on our own, running around, and it was fun. We had fun childhoods. And I have a lot of stories from those times, but this is one in particular. So there was a lake that we all used to hang out at, groups of us would go to the lake and go swimming, and it was like bath water, whereas the ocean was really cold. And yeah, my American spirits go out here because it's so fucking humid. The humidity in the air literally puts out my cigarettes. So at the lake, there was this area of the lake they called the ledges, and it was like a rocky area, and there was a rope swing attached to a tree. And we'd all line up and take turns with the rope swing. Now, my girlfriend Jessica one day, I still laugh thinking about it. I can't help it. It kind of looked funny. What can I say? Okay. So she's going out on the rope swing, okay? I don't know if I had just had a turn or if I was in back of her. I don't even remember. But all I know is I watched the whole thing and it felt like it went down in slow motion. Okay. So I watch her like get a hold of it and she like goes out like a pendulum and she swings out. So she's over the lake and it's time for her to let go and drop into the fucking lake. And instead she swings right back and she smashes herself into the rocks. Now, of course, I just started like laughing. I did. I just started laughing. I'm one of those people that's how I cope. I tend to laugh. I giggle. I smile a lot. I grin. It's just what I do. At some point in your life, you have to choose whether you're going to be fucking miserable or whether you're going to be happy. And I choose to be happy. It's my thing. On the whole, like, I'm happy. I don't fucking sit in the misery for long, I have ways of coping. And if I am miserable, depressed, anxious, whatever it is, I marinate in that fucking shit until it passes. Like, I let it all in, okay? Until it's gone, and then I'm in a new state of mind because that's what works for me. So Jessica comes back, she slams into the rocks, I start laughing, and then of course I'm like riddled with guilt. She's one of my best friends and now I'm worried, like, is she hurt, is she okay, and she's fine and she's a little pissed off at me, but I'm one of her besties. She gets over it, and we're fine. So, yeah, everybody has different personalities, and some people are going to love you and some are going to hate you. You better learn that now because that's a fact of life. No one's going to love you. I mean, not everyone. And not everyone's going to hate you. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. And that's for everybody, people. Everybody. Unless you're a total fucking asshole, then you might have more hate than love. So, my girlfriend Jessica, my childhood friend, kept in touch with her throughout our adult lives, through having children. She had children as well. And I lived in New England. She lived in Florida. Her parents always kept their place up in Maine. Her mother's a fantastic watercolor painter, really paints beautiful paintings. But she didn't go to Maine a lot, and oftentimes when she did, I couldn't get up there for whatever reason. I was busy with my own life. You know how it gets with childhood friends. You get busy with life, you can't get together with them as much. So I just didn't see her. I don't even remember the last time I saw her. I know I did see her in my adulthood, but I really can't even remember when it was. But probably about once a year we'd talk on the phone and catch up. Just tell each other what's going on in our lives and whatnot. And she had been through a divorce, and I know she met somebody, and she was getting into riding motorcycles and that sort of thing. And she seemed really fucking happy. And then I talked to her on the phone. She was, gushing about this guy, and she seemed really happy. And I found out about 4 months later that she passed away. So I do know her sister. I know her parents. I haven't connected with them yet because it's just too painful for me. I just can't get there yet. I can barely even talk about it now. So the point is, you have to be sensitive and compassionate when dealing with people that lose loved ones. It's a very painful subject. It's very painful. Death is a loss that creates trauma for people. So you have to be sensitive and compassionate. You cannot deal with death in any form unless you are a kind, loving, compassionate, empathetic human being. You just can't. You have to be able to empathize with someone's pain. So it takes a particular type to be able to do this kind of work, in my opinion. So yeah, Jess died way too young. I feel for her and her children. Eventually I will connect with her family. And that's that. That's my own personal story of someone I've lost, and I've lost many, many people in my life. But back to the Walmart thing. So Wayne and I go to Walmart just to shop for bullshit stuff. And I hate Walmart as it is. I do not do well in stores like Walmart, Target. I can't be in them a super long time. I have migraines, and you know, the aura migraines where you get like the flashy lights and the spinny patterns and all that shit. No pain, just the aura shit. And sometimes the lights in those stores can trigger those for me. So I don't like to be in them in a long time, for a long time. And I did actually have a grand mal seizure once in Target. So I try to be as in and out as I can. It's like power shopper, you know, when I'm in those stores because of those funky lights. So we're in Walmart, and it is like tense, dead quiet. You know, it's usually like busy on a Sunday. There's only a few people here and there shopping, and like the parents who have children with them, they're like really holding tight. You could see everybody's like keeping their kid real close to the side of them and holding on to them real tight, and it was fucking stressful. Okay, and somebody like me, I go into a store like that, and I am just getting like stress vibes fucking like shot at me from every goddamn direction. And I need to like, you know, sort of like shield up. Like, fuck, whoa, get in my bubble, you know. It's hard. So part of what I do is I try to lighten the mood, at least for Wayne and I, so that we can just shop and focus and get done what we need to do. And I'm trying to not focus on what's happening around me because it's stressful. And it was hard not to focus on what's happening around me because, like, they were having, like, something going off on the loudspeaker, how they're giving away a free gift in the baby section. And clearly, like, it's getting tense. It's getting stressful, the situation. So, as I say, hadn't read any details or anything yet. I didn't even want to know. Like, I have to warm up to these things because it's just, it affects me so strongly. So I was being typical me, and Wayne knows, he lives with me, and I'm trying to joke around. I'm very sarcastic, I'm very dry, I have a very dry humor, and I joke around a lot. I'm tough, you know, don't get me wrong. I can be a cream puff and as soft as they come and a cupcake. But I've got a razor edge to me, and I hope nobody ever has to see it. I try to protect it inside, deep, hidden, so it doesn't hurt anyone. But it's there. Trust me, I know myself. So I joke around a lot. I'm very playful and jokey. So I was joking around with Wayne while we're shopping through the store and going down the aisles and such. And I said to him at one point, I'm like, you know, if you see like an AK-47, like, you dive on me. You might crush me, but you dive on me. You get on top of me on the floor. And I was just joking around. Like, it's me. I joke around. And it wasn't until, I don't know, I think 2 days later that I actually saw a story about this couple in El Paso, a mother and a husband, and their infant daughter. That's exactly what happened. Is she cradled her baby, fell to the floor, he fell on top of her to try to protect his family, and sadly they both passed away. But the baby survived. And it's just, it's so painful for me to think about. I'd rather not, you know. It's not that I don't care, and it's not that I don't have empathy and sympathy and compassion. I do. But it's so painful and I can empathize so much that it's hard, you know, and I have to be in the right frame of mind to do so. So I warm up to these things, and part of how I do that is with humor, and that can be very offensive to some people, and I get that. I totally get it. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. We're all unique. Nobody's exactly the same. So, my deepest heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims of the shooting at the Walmart in El Paso, Texas. Very, very tragic, awful. I'm not going to get into the politics of it. We're not going to get into any of that. I'm just going to offer my sympathy and my condolences to the families. I can't even imagine. I really can't. It's just, everybody's life is touched and affected and changed in those families forever. So, yeah, really, really sad to hear about that. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I have for this video, for this channel. We've got a lot of problems in the world today. A lot of problems. I don't have all the answers. I'm no fucking guru. But I have to think that kindness, you know, can't hurt. Kindness just can't hurt. Right, people? Can't hurt. So I think I will always try to err on the side of kindness. That's all I can do. That's all you can do. Will I fail? Probably. I've had a lot of failures throughout my life. It's how you learn. It's how you grow. Embrace your failures. I will probably fail, but I'm going to keep trying. Yeah. I like to like me. I like to feel good about me. I like to love me. I like to rock out the ghost queen thing. The Heather thing. I like to like who I am. It's how I sleep at night. So, yeah, guys. That's it. I've been talking, over the past week, I've been talking with the woman that I'm making the next 13 Reasons Why video about. And I was sort of reconnecting with her, actually. Somebody I really like and I had become friendly with in the past, but I hadn't spoken to her in a while, so we've been reconnecting. And the next one's going to be a positive one. And I think you'll, if you're not familiar with this woman, I think you will really enjoy her work. And I'm going to wait for the pink eye to pass before I do that video. I don't want to do that video with sunglasses on. It's too distant. And she's somebody I really care about. So I want her to be able to see the all of me. So yeah, I'll be working on it soon. And she knows that I've been communicating with her. And that's all. That's all she wrote, folks. So have a great week. I'm hoping to have a video out before the weekend, or at least by the weekend, but we shall see. No pressure. I hate pressure. I do things when I'm good and ready. And that's all, folks. Until next time, I bid you adieu.